What's up, guys? Good morning. Okay, so we actually have a few late morning spikes here. You can see SNES spiking up to 159. This was a little bit unexpected. I thought since it had a red day yesterday, it may drop, but it kind of gives me the opportunity to possibly short it at the open. So that's ultimately what I'm watching with this one. Also watching CARA. These two are probably my main watches, CARA and SNES. Looking to short CARA, it's up so much already from 1151 all the way to 1408 where it's sitting now. And so this one definitely looks interesting, maybe under this 1370 level right here, as well as 1311 and of course 13. So watching DCAR, would really like to see some more volume with this one. ADOM, kind of like SNES, getting a late spike after a red day yesterday. Both of these were pretty unexpected. A lot of times they end up washing if it's, a pump, which they both look like they are. A lot of times they'll wash after this huge jump, but we'll see what it does at the open, kind of looking at it for a potential short. Also looking at AVGR. Really nice volume. Wish I could trade this one. I've already looked this one up. I can't trade it, unfortunately. RRGB sitting at 46.70 now, looking to possibly short this one if it continues to hold under this 463 level. If it breaks under 46.50 and holds that area as resistance, I may consider shorting this one as well. And so we'll see what happens with Red Robin there. Looking at FWP, if I could short this one under 350, looks okay. GERN, thinking about a long play with this one over 415, 417 right here. See if it can continue to push up. If it drops under 4, holds that area as resistance under the VWAP, I'll consider shorting this one as well. HTBX sitting at 212 from 199. Watching this one under 2. And yeah, I'm watching a few other ones, but that's the bulk of my watch list so far. Still kind of looking to see if I can find anything else this morning. What's up, D. Evan, Mitch, and Champion? What's up, guys? Let me know if you guys see anything that I didn't include here. I'll go over, see if I can trade any of these. HTBX is not tradable. CARA is tradable. SNES is tradable. ADOM, I believe, is tradable as well. Yes, it is. RRGB is tradable. AVGR unfortunately is not. CDTI is not. FWP is not. GERN should be, yes, and DCAR is. So got a few watches. Hopefully we get some more volume in some of these, but about half my watch list is actually tradable this morning. And so appreciate the sub, Alphonse. Appreciate it, man. Welcome. Yeah, I'm definitely watching AVGR. Unfortunately, it's not tradable on TradeNet, which is kind of a bummer. It looks like it has probably the best volume so far in pre-market out of everything I'm watching. Second is probably SNES right here. Really nice volume spike push on SNES, so I'm definitely keeping an eye on that. Watching this 190 level right here as well as the VWAP, see what it does there. INSY. I mean, under 650 looks interesting, but it could easily push up, break 7. We'll see. Not the best volume, but it's not too bad as well. So, the point I'm watching is this 650 level. See if it access support or resistance there. We'll see. RGB continuing to fall here, breaking under these lows at the $0.50. I really wish it would have waited for the open for this to happen, but oh well. El Gringo, I really just like waiting, like while I'll come up with a plan in pre-market, I don't necessarily like being too rigid with my trades here. I think it could either go up or down, and I'd rather just kind of wait till what I see at the open with it. I don't want to be stuck, and biased in any one direction with most stocks I look at. It could drop if it breaks 650, maybe looks okay, but if it pushes up, we'll see. Like I said, I'd prefer to just kind of wait and react to what I see at the open more. Yeah, Wednesdays are statistically and historically my worst days. And so I'm going to be pretty careful as well. Going to try to take it slow here today. What's up, Alba? Tiny? Good morning, guys. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm going out of town. I'm flying out of state tomorrow. I still should be able to stream in the morning, but I'm leaving after that, so I probably won't have a watch list video out yesterday or tomorrow, but I will be streaming tomorrow morning. I'm bringing my big Asus gaming laptop with me, so I should be able to stream on Friday still. But yeah, going out of state on Thursday, which is tomorrow, for a wedding. But man, look at AVGR. I mean, I really wish I could trade this one. Really nice move thus far in pre-market. A lot of volume, riding the VWAP really nicely. I always see at least one stock I really wish I could trade, and today that's AVGR. Unfortunately, it's not tradable in TradeNet, but it looks really decent. Riding the VWAP, really nice volume, big push, gapping up, overextended, maybe shorting under the VWAP looks interesting, but like I said, unfortunately, I just can't trade that one. Still kind of looking to see if I can find anything else, so just give me a second, guys. Hopefully I can find some other stuff. See what the SPY's doing. I think the SPY is down, isn't it? SPY's gapping down, so with that, the TVIX should be up. Yeah, the TVIX is up. Maybe watch the SPY TVIX for a pairs trade. We'll see. There's a few higher float, more expensive stocks I'm watching, which is MU. Gapping up a very small amount. Also watching Lowe's, LOW. Having a little bit of a push in pre-market here. Kind of riding the VWAP. So keeping an eye on those two. Let's see if I can find anything else that's worthwhile this morning. A lot of people talking about AVGR on stock twits. But man, look at AVGR here. Really strong. But yeah, my two biggest watches are probably CARA and SNES. Both are gapping up pretty substantial amount. I kind of like CARA a little bit more than SNES, just because, you know, SNES has shown the potential to keep pushing, watching it over 190. Yeah, I really wish I could trade pre-market. That's the biggest thing, is like, for swing trading, I really wish I had a broker that has cheap commissions, but that also lets me trade in after hours of pre-market. I haven't really found one that has really cheap commissions that, you know, lets me trade in after hours in pre-market as well. That's the biggest kind of thing that I wish I could find. You know, and so that's the biggest thing. I wish a broker would come along that had cheap commissions in pre-market and after hours trading as well. Which one? El Gringo. Buprenorphine. That is Suboxone, correct? They have a Suboxone spray. Monitor severe acute pain. Yeah, I don't know how good of an idea that is. I have a family member that takes Suboxone, but I don't know how good of an idea the spray would be. All right, CARA dropping under that previous low. Yeah, AVGR is probably the one that I think looks the best this morning, but like I said, I can't trade it, so I'm watching these three: CARA, SNES, and ADOM. Yeah, I wish I could trade HTBX. I'm watching it as well. It's gapping up from 199 to 213. I have it on my other monitor that you guys can't see, but looks okay. All right, so let's look up why some of these are moving. I'll start with the biggest one, which is AVGR, even though I can't trade it. It says AVGR received the FDA clearance of the next generation Pantheris device. Leading developer of innovative treatments for peripheral artery disease announced today that the company received 501(k) clearance from the U.S. Drug Administration for its next generation Pantheris lumivascular atherectomy system. All right, so it received 501(k) clearance by the FDA, and so that's ultimately why AVGR is up, and so that's a legitimate catalyst here. Really nice catalyst, gapping up and pushing, and so that kind of makes sense. FDA clearance with AVGR, so it's kind of going crazy now. The next one I'm looking at is CARA. All right, it says CARA Therapeutics and VIFOR Fresenius Medical Care Renal Pharma enter into ex-US licensing agreement to commercialize Korsuva injection in dialysis patients with pruritus. It says Cara received an upfront payment of $50 million and an equity investment of $20 million. It's eligible for $470 million in reg and commercial milestones, and so licensing agreement for CARA. That's legitimately good news as well for it. Let's look at ADOM here and SNES and see if they have a legit catalyst or if they're just kind of reacting to how it's been in the last few days. ADOM, no catalyst out for this one right now. All right, so we do have a press release out on SNES. They are partnering with Pestmaster to bring ContraPest to California Pest Management. They were basically a prop technology, a proprietary tech firm for managing animal pest populations by fertility control. And they developed a rapid rollout plan for the deployment of ContraPest in Cali once the approval of ContraPest is final. So, good news for SNES. We'll see. Next one I'm looking at is RRGB. This one's had pretty bad news. This is Red Robin. Really good burgers. Had Red Robin. All right, so a lot of time they were first the analyst rating. The first one I see is the analyst rating was cut to a neutral from a buy. All right, so Red Robin was bad quarter 1 results, and with that, the stock is on track to open at 6-month lows at the open this morning. So definitely watching this one for potential short if it continues heading down, maybe down to 45, I would say. Gonna watch it closely here. The next one I'm looking at is CDTI. This one had quite a push yesterday, and right before the close, or not right before the close, at the open yesterday, this one had quite a push here. Not really any news out for CDTI, so looks interesting. I kind of wish I could short it. I don't think I can trade it. FWP, late day spike. Not really any news out for FWP either. GERN gapping up a very small amount, I think 1 cent, but it looks okay for a long setup. No news on GERN as well. And the last one is HTBX. And no news for HTBX either. So some of these like SNES, CALA, and AVGR have legitimate catalysts, I'd say. These other ones, they don't really have much out for them right now. So interesting to say the least. We'll see what happens. AVGR is testing that $2 point now. And definitely maybe thinking about shorting Red Robin. It may rebound here, so I got to be careful. But that's kind of what I'm looking at this morning. But man, look at AVGR go. You know, it definitely had a legitimate catalyst. It had FDA clearance. And so this thing is running up to 204 now. Really wish I could trade it. Unfortunately, that's a no-go for me. See if I can find anything else on the market today. Watching a little bit more expensive stock here, which is Tiffany & Co. You can see this monstrous gap here. Riding the riding the VWAP here, so looking at this one for potential short as well, even though it's so expensive. I just don't know how big of share size I should take. Maybe 5 shares, just because it's so expensive. But it looks interesting. Maybe try to get my feet wet with a stock over 100. Never really traded one, I don't think. All right, look at RL here as well, spiking up. Another over $100 stock. SNES riding the VWAP. So we've got some interesting stuff here. $250. Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on it. I mean, I can't trade it, unfortunately, but it looks interesting. UVXY is an ETF, and it's kind of like the TVIX. So it is based off of market volatility. And so whenever the, you can see, if you look at the SPY in UVXY and the TVIX, they're basically opposites. So the SPY gaps down, the TVIX and the UVXY gap up. And if the SPY gaps up, most of the time the TVIX and the UVXY volatility ETFs are going to end up gapping down. And so the way I really like to trade these is I wait for a big pull or push in either direction for the SPY, and then I try to take the counter position on the UVXY or the TVIX. So for instance, if the SPY has a really massive push up, you know, I'd take the UVXY or the TVIX going short and just try to take the counter position. RESN. Yeah, I need some more volume for sure. Gapping up, but need some more volume. I don't think I can trade this one anyway. No. Yeah, looking at CDTI as well. We'll see. I mean, it doesn't really have a catalyst. Not that I saw, at least. After that, I mean, that was a big, massive push from 61 to 152. It's sitting right at the whole dollar now, so that's kind of a crucial level I'm watching for that one. What's up, Power Zone? Good morning, man. So yeah, we'll see how I do today. It's Wednesday, so it's kind of my worst day trading. Historically, I've done pretty bad on Wednesdays, even if I do well for the rest of the week. And so I'm going to be really careful today. Got to wait for an A plus setup. Don't want to force anything. And if I can get by today with just a small profit, I'll be happy. Just because, or even just a small loss, I'll be happy. Just because Wednesdays historically have been pretty tough for me. So you got to understand yourself as a trader. I understand that I don't do great on Wednesdays, and so that's kind of my mentality I have to have today, is just to be very careful. AAMMA. I mean, we'll see. I don't know how much it'll move at all. And also, kind of looking at some of these, I'm trying to check my watch list from yesterday and see if I can maybe get in some of these big pumps, fails. Watching CHEK, MU gapping down a small amount. USLV, look at this thing tank. Man, massive tank in pre-market for USLV. PRPO, BOXL. BOXL looks interesting under 613. See if it comes back down to 5. So under this 613 level looks pretty interesting. The problem with this one is that, first off, the spread is ridiculous and it just has a monstrous range. And so if I did try to get in this one, I'd have to use a small share size just because the range is huge on BOXO. CRSP. Yesterday was a red day, very minor red day, basically break even, and kind of the same thing for yesterday. So two kind of break even days for CRSP. Looks interesting under 62.50 right here. See if it holds the VWAP as a resistance. EGY. Yeah, EGY looks interesting as well. Got some support at 216 or 215. We'll see. Don't think I can trade it either. No. But man, look at AVGR riding that VWAP almost to the T there. KOOL, Christopher. Just low volume. I mean, it's moving more than it usually does in pre-market, and so that kind of looks interesting, but low volume. With stocks like this, I don't mind watching them, but I'd rather just prefer to react to what I see at the open. That way, if it doesn't move, I don't really want to necessarily form a plan around it just because the volume's so low. If it picks up volume and at the open, that's a different story, but gonna wait to see. Good morning, Eric. What's up, man? All right, so got a few nice movers here. Let me fix my screen a little bit. There we go. All right, so three biggest watches for me at least are CARA, SNES, and ADOM. Also keeping a firm eye on RRGB. It's at almost its all-time lows here. Keeping an eye on GERN. Maybe for a long setup with this one. Just depends on how it acts at 4. See if it can bounce off of there. riding the VWAP. Maybe if it breaks under 4 in the VWAP, maybe short it. We'll see. Mitch is reading this about SNES. As a result, we are not profitable and have incurred losses in every reporting period since our inception. For years ended December 31st, 2017 and 2016, we reported net losses of 12.3 mil and 10.9 mil respectively. As of December 31st, 2017, we had an accumulated deficit since inception of 73.6 mil. Yeah, the fundamentals don't look good with SNES, but the problem with it is that, if it's getting pumped up still, it doesn't matter, so that's just kind of what I got to be careful with, not saying the company's great, but if it's getting pumped up, you don't really want to, catch a falling knife, they say. Yeah, I think it's fluff as well. Brendan, I use TradeNet. It's kind of like a prop firm, best way I can describe it. The intro package I paid for is $500, and with that I get a 14,000 max loss. Or no, sorry. The intro package costs $500, and it comes with a day trading course and a chat room, a 1-month subscription to a chat room. And with that, I get 14,000 in buying power with a $700 max loss. And there is a 70-30 profit split. So I keep 70% of my profits over 14K, and they keep 30%. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at. Looking under 150, see if it gets rejected there, but we'll see. Keep an eye on it for sure, though. Yeah, I did, James. I went over that. AVGR, legitimate catalyst here with AVGR, FDA clearance. And so, I mean, it's doing what you would expect. It's a real catalyst there. Testing 202, I could see this one going higher. I mean, just how I am as a trader, I usually look, my niche is shorting these overextended stocks. But I don't know if AVGR is necessarily overextended. Just because that was a legitimate catalyst, and so got to be careful with it. Don't really want to make any decision on it. Can't trade it regardless. It's not tradable in TradeNet, but if I could, that would kind of be my plan. Wait till it breaks under VWAP, holds that area as resistance, and then keeps dropping. CEI. Yeah, I remember this stock. I mean, it's a previous runner. I remember this stock doing this in November of last year. I was trading it then. Got almost up to $10. Now it's at 36 cents. In my opinion, completely terrible company. But, don't tell the pumps that, because they'll pump that thing up. I mean, for instance, Brendan, some of them are tradable. Like, for instance, I can trade CARA, $13.90 stock. SNES is tradable, $1.57 stock. ADOM is tradable, $1.42 stock. GERN is tradable, $4 stock. And so that's not necessarily true. There's, I'd say about, I build my watch list, and my watch list includes any stock price. I have stocks on my watch list that are, $1 stocks, 99-cent stocks, 50-cent stocks, and I have stocks on my watch list that are $120 stocks. And so I'd say about half of my watch list is tradable every day. But like all of these are tradable on my main list: GERN, CARA, SNES, and ADOM. Like I said, 142 stock, 158, 1390, 407. AVGR is not tradable. Unfortunately, I wish I could trade it. It's a $2 stock, but I think yesterday every stock on my watch list was tradable yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, definitely kind of sketchy, Mitch. Let's be honest here. It's an obvious pump. At least in my opinion, this thing's getting pumped up. And so I think it'll eventually come right back down, but it's just about when it does that, because until it starts to have red days, I thought it would go down today, but they put out another press release pumping it up. So, it's just kind of waiting for that inevitable wash. Yeah, no problem, Brendan. All right, guys, we got about 9 minutes until the open. Wednesdays, historically, like I said, have been my worst days, so gotta be careful today for sure. Appreciate the sub, Brendan. Welcome, man. Yeah, I day trade live on stream. If you want to see how TradeNet kind of works, I day trade live on stream using them every weekday from 8:45 a.m. until about 10:15 market time. So for about an hour and a half every weekday morning. So we'll hope you'll join us again, man. Yeah, I kind of like FWP to short. It's something I was looking at yesterday, but unfortunately it's not tradable on TradeNet either. But I do like this one for a short, just because, you can see by the daily, it's just up so much already, and usually when it makes these big pushes, it fails the next day. So kind of wish I could short it, but unfortunately I can't trade it. Yeah, I used Ustock for a long time. I still use them occasionally. I kind of treat Ustock has really good deposits and withdrawals, and so I kind of use my Ustock account as like a bank account, just because I can wire money in and out of there pretty quickly. They recently changed it though, which I'm kind of bummed out about. It used to be free transfers, and so for instance, like I could transfer as long as I put in the requests, the withdrawal request before 4 p.m. market time. I would get my money in my bank account the next morning from Ustock. They recently changed it to where I think it costs $6 per wire plus whatever your bank charges, but they still have a free ACH transfer. And so it's pretty quick as well. I've used it. So I kind of treat my Ustock account like a bank account. And I like Ustock. The biggest thing though is, like, as I've kind of matured as a trader, I realized that like my favorite niche is shorting stocks, and on Ustock, unfortunately, I just can't short. So Brendan, TradeNet is actually CFD trading, which is contract for difference. And so I don't even think there's necessarily borrows, but anything you can trade on TradeNet, like, so anything that's actually tradable is shortable. So anything that has this little Y, like I can search in my trade manager here. Anything that I type in that has this Y under tradable is shortable. So I can short anything that's tradable in TradeNet, which is one thing I really like about them. But it is CFD trading, which is contract for difference. What's up, James? Welcome, man. Appreciate it, man. From Florida, huh? Southwest Florida. Welcome, man. Glad you're here, bro. All right, guys, we got about 5 minutes left until the open. Hopefully we can have a few good setups today. Wednesdays, got to be careful. Wednesdays, I don't know what it is about Wednesdays, but I just never do well on Wednesdays. I think I've had a few green Wednesdays, but most of the time it's not a good day for me trading. So I just got to be careful today. I know myself as a trader. I know Wednesdays are kind of my kryptonite, and so I just got to take it slow. Be careful. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Outsiders. It has a legitimate catalyst for sure. It's riding the VWAP now. You can see the VWAP's right there at 189. It's bouncing off of there over and over again, and so looks interesting. We'll see. Alright guys, so yeah, market opens up in about 4 minutes. I'm going to go grab something to drink, so I'll be right back to get ready for the open. Alright guys, I'm back. Maybe that's true, 7. Maybe my losses are a self-fulfilling prophecy. I don't know, man. I don't want to lose. But first, I think Wednesdays, I think it's kind of hump day in the market. There's a little bit less volume than average in the market. And so I think the low volume is kind of my downfall on Wednesdays. I just think it's a tougher day to trade. Not just me. I see a lot of other traders doing poorly on Wednesdays. And like I said, I think it's just the hump day paradox. Whereas lower volume on Wednesdays, and so thus it's much harder to get some good momentum trades going. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm definitely watching CARA Outsiders. Alright guys, market opens up in about 2 minutes. Good luck everyone. I'm not sure if it's an alternative trading system like Ustock. I think it's just, I don't know. To be honest, I'm not completely sure. I just know it's CFD trading, which is contract for difference. I don't know if that would count as an ATS. See you, Tiny Trader. Later, D. Evan. Have a good one, man. Will it to be, Tiny. Have a good day. Alright guys, we got about a minute left. Got a few good things I'm watching. AEL was another one I'm watching. I forgot about this one. Alright guys, market opens up in 30 seconds. Good luck. But yeah, keeping a steady eye on CARA and SNES here. Also watching Tiffany's. I mean, it's just up so much already. Keeping an eye on Red Robin, which is RRGB. GERN as well. ADOM having a small drop before the open. Opens in 2 seconds, so good luck, everyone. There's the bell. AVGR testing 2, getting rejected. We'll see if it bounces off of the VWAP here. HTBX washing some down to 207. SNES bouncing off of 150. Keeping an eye on CARA here. See how it acts at 13. There's a rebound on AVGR, testing 2 again. It's at 202, 204. Let's watch it over this 205 pre-market high right here. See if we can get over there. AVGR still steady, testing 2. There's 2 again. ADOM crashing some. Watching CARA closely here. AEL's pushing up. There's the break of the pre-market high on AVGR. It's up to 209. 214 high. Watching SNES here. Bouncing off of 150. Looking at Tiffany's here. It's starting to crash as well. Down to 117. Big push on AVGR up to 214, 215. Got up to 220. CHEK is washing some. Watching CHEK under this 450 level. Alright, so what I'm kind of looking at with AVGR, I can't trade it, but I can kind of mentally paper trade it, is to see if it bounces off of that pre-market high. I want to see that previous resistance at 205 turn into support. Looking at GERN here, is at 214. Making a nice little push. Appreciate the sub, Ivan. Welcome, man. Appreciate it. RHE dropping hard. Yeah, RHE crashing. I can trade RHE. Shocking. This is a 25-cent stock and it's tradable in TradeNet. So yeah, I mean, some penny stocks are tradable. You can see RHE, 25-cent stock, tradable in TradeNet. All right, so there's a 1-minute pullback on AVGR. One of my favorite long setups, waiting for this one little pullback, and then once it breaks this high. Like I said, I can't trade it unfortunately, but I can still keep an eye on it. Watching CARA, see if it does a washout long here, breaks this previous, the high of the day right here at 1365. DCAR. Yeah, moving some. HTBX trying to bounce back some as well. RRGB, Red Robin bouncing back some. There's SNES dropping under the $0.50. Alright, so SNEX looks kind of interesting here for a short. Waiting to see how it acts at this low of the day at 150. See if it holds that area as resistance, breaks under that support here at 145. GERN pushing up to 420 now. No, I don't think Kira's halted. I just think it's kind of, there's a big washout long on CARA. Big spike. I gotta start taking advantage of these long setups a little bit more, I think. Big bounce back on CARA. GERN pushing up, breaking the high of the day. It's at 424 now. Thinking about maybe getting in with 50 shares here on CARA. Just got some resistance here. Let's see how it handles that first. GERN steady pushing up at 430 now. Appreciate for that those very poetic words, RM. Appreciate it, man. SNES. Keep an eye on this one. Dropping a little bit too quick. I'll jump in short with 40 shares here. All right, ABGR washing down some. SNES is going to be maybe a little bit longer term hold here. Watching SNES here, thinking about adding if it bounces some. All right, look at GERN go here. Crazy move. All right, so there's a bounce in SNES. Watching it slowly here, it looks like it's starting to tank, but it may have some support and resistance at 45 cents. Big drop in CARA here. RHE bouncing back. HTBX looks like a possible washout long here. Starting to bounce back. It's at 218. AVGR bouncing back some. Alright, so I added another 40 shares here on SNES. The plan is to get out if it breaks 150 and hope it continues dropping here, breaks these lows at 138. HTBX dropping down to 207. AVGR washing out some. Surprising, it had a legitimate catalyst, so kind of surprising that AVGR is failing this much. But I think it was up so much already that maybe that is ultimately why. It's crashing some. CHKE. Yeah, CHKE looks good. A lot of times I've always said the smallest gaps are the ones that run the most. And you can see CHKE was moving more than it usually does in pre-market, but it wasn't a huge gap. And so now it's running at the open up to 132, so a nice move there. GERN is looking pretty strong still. Up to 436. AVGR testing that low of the day here. It's kind of what I look for with shorts, especially if it cracks under this low, holds that area as resistance. But man, look at GERN move this morning. Really big move here. Still kind of testing these highs. Alright, so there's a nice drop on SNES. We'll see if we can crack under the low of the day this time. Looks weak. Alright, there goes AVGR cracking under these lows. See if the previous support turns into resistance here is what I usually want to see with AVGR. DCAR. Man, must have missed this one. Man, look at DCAR. Beautiful washout long. Picture perfect washout long setup. really nice move there. Keeping an eye on AVGR. This is kind of what I look for with shorts. Really wish I could trade it. Unfortunately, I can't. WMLP. Man, look at WMLP as well. Nice move there. I seriously doubt I could trade this one. Looks like a very low float penny stock. Yeah, not tradable, unfortunately. But look at this move here. Way to rub it in, James. Yeah, it looked like a nice washout long, though, for DCAR. If you don't know what a washout long is, I mean, it's essentially when a stock drops down originally at the open and then breaks that first high of day. So right here, in this case, it would be this 175 level. I kind of saw it with CARA. I stopped myself from getting into it because it had this resistance right here at 1393. And so that's ultimately what stopped me from getting in CARA, and I'm glad it did because you could see CARA ended up failing after that. But yeah, still holding SNES, very small share size. Wednesdays, I think I got to protect my account a little bit more. But I'm watching CARA for an eventual low of the day break here as well. SNES just has a lot of stocks on a big bid at 138. And so we'll see if we can get under there. Finding a lot of support at this 138, 140 level. HTBX ended up coming right back down. You can see why I don't like Wednesdays. If you look at HTBX here, this thing goes down, looks like a washout long, pushes up, drops right back down, breaks the low of the day, bouncing over 2. So I did like DCAR right here, though. This looked like a nice washout long setup if you could catch it. I'm starting to like SNES less and less as time goes by, especially if it continues to hold that 138 area support. And maybe it's just nerves. Huge seller on the bid or on the ask at 141. 47, or yeah, either. I don't know whether it's 47,000 or 4,700 shares, but I think it's 47,000 shares. On the bid, it's making the price drop. Now, this could mean a few different things when you see an ask that big. It could mean somebody's trying to go long and they're trying to get the stock cheaper, or it could mean somebody is legitimately shorting that much. So I got to be careful either way because it could just be somebody manipulating the ask, trying to get it to drop lower for a split second before it bounces big, and they take a massive long position. Yes, it's real money. It's TradeNet. I'm trading on TradeNet, but yeah, it's real money. Appreciate the sub though, man. The level 2 is starting to kind of sketch me out though for SNES. If anybody can see this level 2, look at this thing. You might not be able to see it on the stream, but if you look at this level 2 on SNES, it's starting to get sketchier and sketchier here. Huge ask of... it has a huge ask price at 47,500 shares. And it's just starting to get stacked in both directions. And so, it makes me dislike it. Still going to give it time, but especially that it continues to find some support here. I might jump out of it pretty quickly here if it starts to push up anymore. Especially since that huge order is now gone. Kind of breaking through that wall. SNE or CARA bouncing back pretty strong here. Very choppy day. I mean, we've had a few setups fulfill, but very, very choppy day. Look at CARA. Look at this big push up to 1380, back down to 1360. Alright, if it breaks 145, I'm out. There it goes. What? Why does it do this? Ugh. So slow, man. Alright, I'm out for a $4 loss on SNES. That's kind of my cue to get out. Stuck to my plan. Didn't end up working out, but like I said, Wednesdays are historically my worst days in the market, so I don't mind getting out for a small loss. VVUS. It doesn't look too bad. Nice little washout long there. Yeah, I don't know what it is about Wednesdays. But yeah, it was time to get out of SNES. It broke over this previous resistance at 146. Maybe bounce off the VWAP, but don't want to risk it. That sucks, Salty. GERN. But yeah, you can just see how choppy the market is today. If you want to see how choppy it is, you can look at HTBX. Very choppy. CARA. This thing is a chop fest as well. Up and down, up and down. Let's see what the SPY did today. SPY's breaking those highs right as soon as I look at it. ABGR. Yeah, it looks like a lot of low of the day breaks aren't really holding. This was a complete fake out here. This is actually one of the entries I like when it breaks the low of the day. You can see a lot of people probably jumped in at 185 and just got trapped. So a lot of sketchy setups this morning. Kind of the same thing SNES did here. Broke under the low of the day, held that previous support as resistance, broke under the low, and then just bounced right back. But yeah, really tough day to trade today, guys, so just be careful. What's up, Taylor? Kind of watching everything. Don't see too much I like. Yeah, CARA was the other one I was looking at to short, but just very choppy back and forth. Went down to 1324, back up to 14, back down to 1324, back up to 14. So just kind of a chop fest there. I mean, there may be some profit to be had if you take advantage of the channel, see if it bounces off of that 14 level again. But SNES, it's just it broke over this resistance right here at 145. And so, I mean, I was going short on this one. And so, you know, if it drops, it faked me out. I just got out. Small shear size. Hey, if you're still holding it, Ronald, good luck, man. You know, I just don't trust it anymore. But for your sake, if you're going short, I hope it keeps falling for you. Yeah, no problem, James. Appreciate it, man. Welcome, man. Glad to have you here, bro. But yeah, Ronald asked why I got out of SNES. The reason I got out is because it broke over this support resistance level at 145. It ended up bouncing off of 150, but I think the risk is just too much holding it if it can break this support right here at 148 and 145. It did get rejected at 150, so maybe I should have held and try to let it work. But, you know, I just think when it breaks that support level right here, that resistance level, it's just too risky to hold. At least for me, every trader's different. What works for me might not work for you, and what works for you might not work for me. And so that's just kind of how I trade. Are you long or short in it, Ronald? And I mean, if it does end up dropping here, it's gonna suck. But ultimately, the most important thing when trading is account preservation. And so I just got out when I thought it should. If it drops, I mean, it's just kind of scaring people out of it, which is okay, you know. But got to protect my account. You can see HTBX is starting to bounce back. It's testing the VWAP now. Oh, you're long in it, Ronald. That makes sense. Yeah, I was going the opposite direction as you, man. I was going short. All right, so kind of looking at GERN here. If it breaks under this support right here, it looks interesting for a short, maybe down to 418. Very small range for the most part, or maybe down to 411, 410. But I want to see it break under that, hold it as resistance. But yeah, it's just too choppy. A lot of stuff in the market right now. Wednesdays, like I said, my kind of theory on Wednesdays is that since it's hump day, the volume is a lot lower than normal on Wednesdays. And so because of that, you know, in order for technical analysis to be reliable, you have to have volume, you know. So if the stock doesn't have, I mean, it has volume, but in order for technical analysis to fulfill, you have to have really good volume. That's a good entry, I think. Buying it after the low. VNet. Yeah, VNet made a nice push today from 760, 755 to 8. Also watching Tiffany. I know it's a more expensive stock, but it's starting to rebound here. But man, look how choppy CARA is. It's just tough to trade a stock like that. Red Robin ended up rebounding. It was at its lifetime lows, so I understand why it rebounded. But it continues to kind of ride the VWAP here, so we'll see how it acts. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about holding it to 150, but once it formed this high right here, I just decided to set a little bit tighter of a stop once it formed this high at 145. Better risk reward, if that makes sense. Whereas, like, my reward for this one would be really the next support level is 135. And so if I get in here at 145, or if I get in here at 143, I can set a reward at the top of this at 146, and my or a risk at 146, where my reward could be at 135 if it does bounce there. But so it's just a little bit better risk reward for me. It's really choppy, and so I'm not really upset that I got out of it. You see a lot of stocks breaking the lows and then bouncing back today, and so I've heard a lot of people say that they only trade Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays because Fridays and Wednesdays the volume is just, you know, not there most of the time. What is FOMC, James? Yeah, I don't know what FOMC is. What is that? WMLP is still running, Wilkin. It's bouncing off the VWAP here. It's just up so much. I mean, I can't trade it regardless, but it's up so much already. It's just too tough to be very confident because when it drops, it's going to drop hard. And so that's the biggest thing that kind of scares me from that one. The Federal Open Market Committee. Yeah, the FOMC meeting. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Wednesdays historically have just been my bad days. I just think the volume's low. My best days are Mondays, Tuesdays, and ironically Fridays. Usually I have a green day on Friday. Thursdays aren't bad either, but Wednesdays are just, I don't know what it is. AEL trying to get over this high of the day as well. It's acting somewhat reliable. And maybe I should have held on to SNES. It's just, I don't know if I would have had the patience to hold it through that entire push back up. CARA trying to break the high of the day here. It's at 14 again, 1396. Ultimately, just too risky for me to hold through that though. But yeah, guys, I'm probably going to close the stream down today a little bit early. Tomorrow, I am actually going out of state, but I will still be able to stream in the morning. And so if you haven't already, man, there's SNES dropping. I guess I got spooked out of it too early, but oh well. Got out for a small loss today. It's Wednesday. I'm just glad my loss wasn't bigger. But yeah, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream now. I'll still be streaming tomorrow morning at the same time as I usually do. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. I day trade every weekday morning starting at 8:45 a.m. market time and stream until about 10:15, closing it down 5 minutes early today. But yeah, guys, if you want to do me a favor, and I really appreciate it if you could do this, click the like button right now on this video. If you appreciate this content and like watching me stream every morning, click the like button right now in this video. I definitely appreciate it if you do. And yeah, guys, not a horrible day, very small loss on the day. Maybe it would have been a green trade if I would have had the patience to hold it through that pushback. But, you know, oh well, not too upset with protecting my account some. But yeah, guys, good luck for the rest of the day. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see me day trade live every weekday morning. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning at the same time at 8:45 a.m. market time. Good luck, guys. Man, look at that drop on SNES. Bummed out. A little bit of FOMO here, but oh well. Anyways, guys, good luck for the rest of the day. I'll see you guys tomorrow.